We've got some injury reports. We also have some standouts. And, of course, as always, your calls coming up next. '25 season is getting started. Want to do it twice. The 25 season is getting started, and what we need to do is realize that you have your media days in the books. We got the first practice, Ryan. So it's time to do some call-in shows. You know the drill up here. Here's the phone number, 888-997-4539. We're going to go down some topics and go back and forth a little bit. We really want your input on this. So come on, check on this. Let us know. It's time, you guys. The season's upon us, Ryan.
It's here, baby. Football's back. First day of fall camp. Great seeing you, Tim. We've had a lot of fun. We were in Vegas last week, hanging out together. Nice 8 hours in the car together, swapping stories for our quick 24-hour trip to Vegas for Big Ten Media Day. USC Media Day on Monday. We haven't really talked a lot about that, so we can get into that. And then obviously today, fall camps kick off. The sounds, the sights, the smells, the dew on the grass at 6:30 this morning, Tim, when we had to get to campus driving through LA traffic. It's fantastic. Football's back. Great to see you.
Great to see a lot of the usual suspects. Roger Dodgers, thanks for checking in. Roy Banuelos, father of Micah Banuelos, thank you for checking in. Trojan Blade, as always. Appreciate you guys all being here. Go ahead and drop us questions in the chat if you'd like as well. But again, what we're here for is your phone calls. We're going to run down a couple topics for you guys before we get to your phone calls. But this show isn't this show isn't a show without you guys. So let's get started, Ryan. Let's just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. It's good news, though. I mean, it's bad news yet good news. Lincoln Riley gave some insight to a couple of injuries that have happened early here. Caden Chittenden, is the kicker, is hurt. We also had, who else was there? It was Chittenden, Jacoby Lane. You guys, that's probably the big name. Kenny Urlacher is limited. And Chasen Johnson. So, no, sorry, my bad. Those guys are the standouts. I gotta go back. The injuries were Carlin Jones, D. Riddick, Jacoby Lane, and Caden Chittenden. But he did say, Ryan, right, that he doesn't expect any of these to be long, lingering injuries.
Yeah, I think injuries is a loose term, so no one freak out. Basically, they were not full participants in practice with just, that could be lingering soft tissue stuff. That could be whatever it is. But all indications are they will be full go through fall camp, just weren't today. So maybe Friday, maybe next week. But Jacoby Lane was out there. We'll get to him, but seeing the leadership qualities and the growth in him, I think was fun to see, cheering his guys on as they're going through individuals and whatnot. And he's running routes himself. So they were all out there. It just wasn't, I don't think they were partaking in more of the physical stuff yet, but injuries, we'll use that loosely, but yeah, basically Lincoln Riley said everyone's healthy. Just, it wasn't 100% full participant was the term, I guess. Which is great.
Got the chat saying that we're lagging a little bit here. Let us know if that self-corrects. If not, I might have to make a couple adjustments. Yeah, so they came into camp healthy. Came through spring relatively healthy, which is great. That's rare for USC. Usually you have a couple people on the mend going from spring, but you have some guys getting healthy, getting out there from last season and from spring. So it's good to know that the start of camp is relatively healthy. And then I guess I kind of broke into it earlier. Lincoln Riley, after practice, talked about a couple of the players that really was asked about it and who's standing out. And he singled out, the corner transfer, Chasen Johnson, Kendi Urlacher, and Eric Gentry. Eric Gentry, no surprise there, right? He's usually a guy that's going to be standing out on the field whenever he gets out.
Yeah, absolutely. With we all know with Gentry, it's just him staying healthy all season long, which he looks, it's the typical term everyone uses, but looks to be in the best shape of his life. But I think being with Rob Ryan will certainly aid in that. But Kenny Urlacher, I think, is a fun name to kind of think about because, this was a transfer in out of Notre Dame. Obviously, we know his lineage, but not knowing how much he would be involved and still don't know for sure. But, being a standout on day one of fall camp certainly is a good sign and certainly leads to kind of why they wanted to bring him here, as he can have not just an impact on special teams, but potentially in that kind of safety room in terms of depth and getting on the field. So that's certainly good to see. And then Chasen Johnson, what a story of his journey to getting here, right? Like I'm sure most people know it, but those that don't, I'll repeat it quickly. Enters the portal from UCF. He was Trevon Reed's guy, hits the portal, commits to USC. I remember I was up in Lake Arrowhead. We were doing like a little early Christmas with friends, get the news. I'm like sitting by the fire, writing up, great, got Chasen Johnson. 2 days later, he's back in the portal and heading, did he go to like SMU? Or not even back in the portal. He flipped from SC to SMU, and then from SMU goes back to UCF, and then hits the portal again, and now he's back home at USC. And Trevon Reed spoke very, very highly about him at USC Media Day. Obviously, that's his guy. He, feels like they're family and whatnot, and got him here. And so, again, hearing his name, I know our buddy Trojan Blade here has spoken highly of Johnson and a guy that he thinks can be a real impact player right off the bat after playing as a freshman, a true freshman at UCF. So, again, just getting shouted out by the head coach on day one, certainly a good sign.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I went ahead and hardwired the computer because some people were saying, and I was getting some DMs saying that the audio, hopefully let me know if that audio is corrected, the video is corrected, and we're okay on your end. I'd appreciate it. But wow, we got our first call.
Tim. Look at that on the fly. Great production right there. Utility, man.
We're a little bit rusty, guys. Listen, I appreciate, by the way, just on that note, I appreciate all you guys. You guys are all wonderful. I had so many people reaching out to me, wondering if I, had fallen off a cliff, what had happened to me. But, I'm here and appreciate. What's that?
The people love you.
Some do.
Or they just love.
I've got a love-hate relationship with a lot of people in this chat. I guarantee you right now. Yeah. I love all of them. They hate me, but I'm good with that because it makes for good conversations. But we do have a call coming in, which is why we're all here. And I know this phone number. It's coming from the other side of the country. LV, how you doing? LV, we got you. Uh-oh.
LV, other side of the country, 1040. Maybe it's too late.
Hang on one second.
Hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. You got him, Ryan?
Yeah. What's up, brother?
LV, how you doing, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Listen, we're getting the gremlins out. We got to shake all the gremlins out of this thing, LV, because it hasn't been used probably since about January, I think. So, got to bear with us.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Hey, listen, man, fight on from the East Coast, man. I appreciate you guys. Great show. Extremely excited about the football season coming up. Big shouts to you, Ryan. I've been watching you for some time now. You guys do a great job, Tim. You're my guy. So, extremely excited. You got the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, man. So football is officially back. The question I have for you guys is, who do you see starting at safety next to Kamari and Ramsey? I mean, we're kind of looking at the linebackers. I mean, of course, we got Gentry. Looks like Stevens is going to wind up having that spot. The corners are going to probably wind up being Nicholson. And, of course, I believe the kid is – I forget the kid's name from San Jose State. I believe those are the two guys. Mm-hmm. But for safety next to Kamari and Ramsey, who do you guys see there? And then who do you guys see at the nickel also, too, for the team? I think the defensive line is going to be swappable. Different guys are going to be moving in and out. So, they can pick and choose who they're going to want. But those, to me, are like the keys right there, that nickel and who the safety is going to be. Listen, great show as always, Tim. I'm here. You're my guy. Definitely going to call back in, but you guys keep it rolling, man. We are definitely back. Football season. Fight on from the East Coast, man. Great job, guys. Take care.
Fight on, LV. And you guys make sure you check out LV Live. If you guys, especially if you're a New York basketball fan or football, correct me if I'm wrong, LV. I'm certain. I don't want to insult. Oh, he's gone. Knicks fan, I believe Knicks and Giants. So definitely, if you're on the East Coast, make sure you check it out. LV Live. Just great content for Knicks and the Giants. Safety position. I think we're probably going to say the same person. I mean, so here's the thing about safety, though, and this secondary in general. I mean, it's stacked with young, albeit unproven talent. But watching Christian Pierce on special teams, or in spring games or whenever he's got a chance to get on that field, has been pretty amazing. Marquise Gallegos, his high school tape says it all. The guy is just a ball hawk. Can't wait to see him ball out. But I got a feeling it's going to be Bishop Fitzgerald probably out there with him. But as we saw last year as well, this coaching staff's not afraid to mix up that safety combination. You might see that a rotation even back there. But I'm thinking probably those are your two. Any thoughts on that, Ryan?
Yeah, I think great to see you and hear from you, LV. Always appreciate the support. And I got a buddy that just moved from LA to New York, so I'll have to tell him to check out your New York coverage out there. But yeah, Tim, I think I totally agree with you. I think Bishop Fitzgerald was brought in to, I mean, they always want competition. Link really says that, but I think he was brought in to assume that starting role unless someone beat him to it. And through spring, I think everyone spoke very, very highly on him. And even at media day, he was brought up as well. So I think Bishop Fitzgerald, who had a great, career already, is going to be a really good, solid starter. But I totally agree. I think Christian Pierce, we're going to see a lot of. And if anyone knows Doug Belk, if you watch, I know me and Tim haven't done it as much together, but if you watch me, I like hammer the point that Doug Belk loves, and Dan Lynn for that matter, loves versatility and loves guys that can play multiple spots and loves rotating guys to keep it fresh. They like keeping everyone ready on the sidelines to be able to play. So I would not be shocked if we'll see a rotation with Christian Pierce. If Kennedy Urlacher keeps it up, I'm not saying he's going to play a ton, but see him maybe in there a little bit. And I know Kendarius Reddick, who we mentioned earlier, was like a little sideline with, little bumps and bruises, is a guy they're super excited about. And you mentioned Marquise Gallegos. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple guys rotating in, but I think your set starters for sure are Fitzgerald and Ramsey. Do you want me to take nickel or toss back to you?
Well, we talked about earlier as far as the injury situation, but Kadarius Riddick is another guy that they were very high on as a young guy coming in last year. Yeah. His name popped up a bunch of times. So that's what I'm saying, between Gallegos, between Riddick, is definitely gonna be pushing for that. And Christian Pierce, I mean, safety is something that I'm not concerned about. As far as the nickel's
real quick, I said thank you for correcting my pronunciation of Gallegos. Like, I have a Mexican wife who speaks Spanish. You think I could pronounce it right instead of Gallegos?
Like, what am I doing over Christmas here? You're gonna get some stink eye over. You could get some stink eye over those tamales during Christmas time if you don't get Gallegos right. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
That's just when you talk too fast and don't think before you speak. So my apologies.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I never do that. No, Doug Belk said basically, so he talked about the nickel. Because we asked him, not when he was on the main stage, but he was off to the side of the table, and he said best 5 guys.
Yep.
It's best. Now, obviously, that's going to change up depending on the personnel that's going to be on their other side of the field. Obviously, that's going to be adjusted if you tight end heavy or whatever the situation might be. But look for the best 5 guys to get on the field. And this fall, I mean, you just heard the names we just rattled off. There's a lot of competition between those nickels and safeties. There's a lot of talent out there. I was just talking to Gabe right before the show, and we were talking about Marcellus Williams. Not the biggest guy, but I'm telling you, up on the line, I've seen him lay the wood. I mean, the guy is one of those guys that can hit bigger than he is. You know what I mean? So cover skills are great there as well. You guys saw the spring game, just baited that one pass and was able to get that play last year. Yeah, it was the spring game this year. So, I mean, a wealth of problems, let's put it that way. And one of these guys is going to rise to the top, and whoever that 5th guy is going to come in. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, maybe the bigger sets or tight end, who they might bring for that nickel, but that's another conversation. But we do have the phone line open right now, you guys, 888-997-4539.
Give me a name, Tim, though. Give me a name. Like, who's your nickel? Who's your starting nickel? 5? Just give me your best 5. If you're,
yeah, that's so hard. So hard.
Because I go back and forth on this. Like, if you want to, I'll let you think. So obviously, we just said Bishop Fitzgerald and Kamari on the back end, and then
I mean, I didn't even say Braylon Conley as well. I mean, there's so many great guys we have. Young Tristan Castro. I mean, there's a lot to look at there. Isaiah Rubin.
Yeah.
I mean, his name's popped up a couple of times. So it's going to be fun. We get to watch. We don't get to report on it, but we get to watch practice on Friday. We're not going to see much, right? Because they have the acclimation period, so there's not going to be any pads or anything. But it's going to be interesting to see how this thing shapes up. Want me to throw a name out there because I'm a homer, because I'm a St. John Bosco alum. I'm just going to take the easy route and just I'm going to call it. I'm going to say Celus Williams, just because there's no logic to that. I'm just being a homer. Who do you got for us
as the nickel? You're saying?
Yeah.
Celus? Yeah. I choose like 3, and then I'm like, oh man, but what about this guy? I think the correct answers here. We're going to see like 7 or 8 defensive backs playing. And I've said this a lot too, like Dan Lynn doesn't see, in my opinion, and he's kind of mentioned this too. I don't think he sees corners and safeties. He sees defensive backs, guys that can just move all over. So I think we're going to see 7 to 8 defensive backs playing a lot. But I think Prophet Brown's a guy that for sure, maybe not getting the shine from the fan base, but the coaching staff is raving about. So I think we're going to see him. Obviously, DJ Harvey, the transfer we've mentioned, the Carlos Nicholson. I don't know if he'll be like the set starter, but he will absolutely get reps. So I mean, if I'm gun to my head saying 3, I'll probably go DJ Harvey, Chasen Johnson, and Prophet Brown. Probably go those 3.
That's a safe bet. I was trying not to be safe. Yeah. I mean, you can't forget about Prophet in this because he's the incumbent basically. So
yeah.
Prophet is lagging. Mine were lagging. Again, you guys, it's gonna start. Who do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. I mean, let me know how stupid I am. I love those. I love when people tell me to study more. But who do you guys see on that nickel and the corners? Really, I think you're right. I mean, I think DJ Harvey and Chasen Johnson are going to be your corners. That nickel's going to be a hard. But even that, the corners. I mean, that's going to be highly contested. I mean, starting the year, ending the year, it'll be interesting how that all develops, and that's the fun of fall camp. And hopefully with all that talent, there's a lot of competition out there. But we have another call. As a matter of fact, we got a VIP call. We have Roy Banuelos, as I said earlier, father of Micah Banuelos. How are you doing, sir? Thanks for calling.
Hey, I'm doing fine, Ken. Excited. I'm glad that you're back, by the way.
Thank you.
Excited for the season. It's been too long. I love hearing from, and I miss hearing from you. But I am so happy, so excited for the season. I know Micah is excited, and USC is just doing it big, man.
Yeah, well, it talking about another that's going to be a very highly contested position, and then we're going to have to figure out, with DJ not there, possibly it's the situation at guard is going to really shake up for a little bit here. So competition, which I think that Micah will be very, very much a part of.
Yeah, agreed. Micah's going to have a say in that for sure. Obviously, having someone that has 5-6 years with experience in Winfield, that's big, right? Micah still has, with his red shirt and his injury, still has 4 years, right? I think I'm okay with if he just gets a bunch of reps this year. And if DJ comes back, great. Because I think with that experience, I'm not mad at that. Micah's kind of hurt, what happened with DJ, so he's rooting for DJ. Me as well. Micah could take another year of just getting his body right. But if it's his turn this year, he's ready. I don't know if I can share this, but he's been running with the 1, so I think that's positive. But I think we're rooting for DJ, man. He's a great kid from what I hear from Micah. Yeah,
your thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah,
about that guard position.
No, it's great, Mr. Banuelos. Great to hear from you. What a honor to chat with you. Thanks so much for calling in. But yeah, I think it's a position group that I think there's questions, but they're not bad questions, if I can say that. Like, we don't know what it looks like necessarily, and so that gives a lot of fans like an uneasiness. But to me, this is like the deepest the group has been since Lincoln Riley has been the head coach here. Now, that doesn't mean it's the most experienced group, but based on talent, based on size, based on skill set, and just based on kind of development within the room, within the coaching staff with these guys, I think it's the deepest, absolute, and the most confident I've definitely felt. So I'm super excited to see it play out, and super excited to see, obviously, Micah Banuelos could continue to just, grind and rise. And I love it too, hearing Mr. Banuelos, when you say, I love hearing parents that are like, hey, he's ready to play now, but he's also ready to develop, be a team guy, be ready when they call upon him. Because so much nowadays is like, hey, he's the guy. He's better than everyone. So I think it's just really cool to hear that he's, team first guy and ready when called upon, but also ready to keep grinding and developing. So, the offensive line is going to be fascinating this year. I can't wait to watch it.
Ryan, the Banuelos family is just class. I've known Roy for about a year now, and nothing but positive things about both him and Mike. I mean, I haven't had many conversations with Micah, but I've talked to Ren to Roy sometimes. And then Roy, we got you on the phone. So we're sitting there, Ryan, you know about this. You got there a little earlier than me. And you hear a buzz that Adrian Clem is at practice. Adrian Clem is wearing USC gear. And then we got the news after practice today that he has been hired as an analyst for USC offensive line, which I think is great. To support Hansen as he begins his coaching. I know he's been offensive line coach. He's an offensive lineman by trade, but having those that room, the experience of an Adrian Clem, and I know you and Micah had some experience with him going back to his recruiting as well.
Yeah, in fact, I think he was recruiting Micah, Alani, and Amos, who's no longer with USC. So it was like a 3-deal package. Those kids became close. And I will tell you right now that Oregon was in it till the last minute. I know that Amos had chosen USC, but Alani, Micah, man, it was like last minute. I think for Micah first, and then Alani made his decision. But Coach Clem comes with a lot of experience, down to earth guy, and really knows the stuff inside out. NFL experience, and even after we decided to choose USC, he's taken I reached out after he left Oregon, went to the NFL. Guy was, texting me back and saying how's Micah doing? And so I texted him this morning. He replied back. So it was just a great guy. As soon as I saw that, I was like, no freaking way. It just looked weird seeing Coach Clem in a USC. it looked freaking weird. And then when it was confirmed, trust me, I was happy, man. I think I was smiling for like an hour.
Yeah, I was. I do remember him being cross town, right? And then he was also with I can't remember, some other team, and so I've always been, it's kind of been hard for me because he is a great recruiter. I was talking to who are we talking to? Ron, we're talking to Scott Schrader and Mark Culkin during the break in between while we're kicked out of practice before the media scrum at the end. And then we were just talking about just his elite recruiting skills. And that's a question for the chat. You guys could help me out, or maybe Ryan or even Roy. I know they changed up the rules for analysts as far as coaching on the field. But I also know that analysts in the past weren't allowed to recruit, off campus. I know they couldn't be the lead recruiter, if I'm correct on that. I'm wondering if those rules have changed, or if anyone even listens to the NCAA anymore, if there is such a thing as recruiting rules. But I'll tell you what I tweeted out. No matter what the situation is, if coming to get help by him, to be recruited on campus by him, it's just going to help. And I think we're already going to get some pretty good news on Friday. So I think there's the wait for that. I'm very confident about. And what we've been doing, the staff that they're putting together, you guys, is something special. And people keep saying to me, well, yeah, as long as we can hold them together. But here's the thing, Bowden and staff are really on top of this stuff. And when you have Jen Cohen putting all these pieces together, we're going to lose people. But as these people go off and get better jobs, it's just going to sell. The university is just going to sell itself. You have the whole story with the Saban car wash, right? You come on in, you do well, and you move on to a better job. It's just what happens in college football. And so, there's, how many years will we have Danton Lynn? Let's be realistic. The guy's a superstar. I hope he stays for his whole career. Not likely, that's going to happen. But Brent Venables types guys who stick around a program that long as an elite defensive coordinator is very rare. So enjoy it while we have it. But I am confident in the fact that when they do move on, that we have a competent front office now that will fill that for us.
Yeah. And
I hope we're learning, right? We have the best defensive coach here, man. Let's learn from him. Make sure that someone's going to take the mantle,
Yeah, well, I think Roy would. So we talked about this before. I think they've also in the staff, and you obviously know this, but I think they've built, I don't want to call them like guardrails, but there's very clear paths of like when one does leave, it's an easy transition to the next. Like even when Dan Lynn does get a promotion or goes to the NFL, like you got Coach Henney, you got Doug Belk, either of those guys could easily slide in as the new defensive coordinator. And then guess what? Doug Belko is the defensive coordinator per se. Well, guess what? Trevon Reed now is the DB coach. Like it's very clear, like the strategy and the strategic avenues they've taken of like, okay, we want this to be a place that's going to springboard people, but then we're also just not going to miss a beat when they do end up doing that.
Yeah. And like Tim said, it's USC, right? So yeah, we have that internal, but guess what? We're going to have the best of the best also wanting to come in from the outside.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I think
the roster is starting to look like when I was a kid watching USC and then into the Pete Carroll years, and the coaching staffs are starting to look like the coaching staffs at USC when I was a kid, you know, and Carroll, when people move on to take head coaching jobs in college or move off to coordinator jobs in the NFL. This is what championship football looks like. And again, USC is one of those programs that is elite to a level that very few programs can reach. I mean, everyone wants to talk about it. You know, USC though, we've shown we have a very low floor, unfortunately, but there aren't many programs. I mean, there's very few people. You probably have like obviously Alabama or, Nebraska in the 90s that were really rolling. If you go all the way back, and some of those great Notre Dame teams, even Notre Dame and USC back in the 70s went back and forth. There's some Ohio State teams back in the 70s. But when USC's on top and USC's rolling and it looks like the program, the administration is behind the program, I don't care if anyone calls me arrogant. There's very few programs in the country can offer what USC can offer, has the talent in their backyard like USC has a top university education you can get, and it's all centered in one of the greatest cities in the world. So good luck to the rest of you guys if USC really does get its stuff together.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's the plan. So, and last thing I'll say about Clem real quick, because I think Riley insinuated that he'll be kind of actually working on the defensive side, which I think is actually a really cool strategy. We've seen that other ways, and he said he'll be involved in multiple roles. But Tim, I know you saw, but today, I mean, he was with Rob Ryan with the linebackers for a period of time, kind of showing linebackers how to get off blocks, like when the lineman's grabbing you. So he'll have that insight of like, hey, he played offensive line. He's obviously been an offensive line coach for a number of years. He's one of the great recruiters specifically at offensive line, but now he can help these defenders like, hey, here's how you beat the offensive line. And as an NFL reference, I don't know if anyone here watched the NFL, but, Raheem Morris, who was recently the Rams defensive coordinator here in LA, but he began kind of his career with Tampa, and then he was with Atlanta and always been a defensive guy. But then for a few years, he was a wide receiver coach with Atlanta, like out of nowhere. And then now he's a head coach of the Falcons, kind of came full circle, but he's credited a lot of those years as a receiver coach. Like it allows you to really aid both sides of the ball, because when he was the receiver coach, he was teaching those receivers like, hey, here's how you beat the DBs. This is what I've coached my whole career. Here's the way to beat that. So I think having Clem in that role, well, some will say, well, why is he not with the offensive line? It's actually kind of they're putting a ton of trust in Zach Hansen, who I think is a phenomenal coach, but B, it's a way to assist in a different way of thinking, which I think is really smart.
Appreciate everyone being here.
And let's be fair.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Roy.
I was going to say, and let's coach Zach Hansen. He's doing a outstanding job, right? Yeah. I don't think it's like, hey, Coach Clem. Maybe if Hansen were to leave, Coach Clem steps in. But I mean, look how he's recruiting, right? He's doing an outstanding job. And as far as Coach Clem, think about a plumber, right? A plumber knows how to fix pipes and whatever. But imagine a plumber that wants to cause harm, right? They'll know, okay, turn this water hot. He'll know how to do the damage, right? So someone that knows on the opposite side, knows all this, how to win, can also teach, okay, I'll show you guys what they do. I'll show you their little tricks. I'll show you how to reverse that. But I think it's kind of brilliant. I think it's smart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kenai Pepe, and Daikonov and the.
Oh, did Tim freeze? Is that just on his end, or is that everyone?
You guys got me?
There you go. Yeah, you're back.
Is it me lagging? Okay, yeah. I was just gonna say that we knew with Hansen. I mean, Hansen look what he was doing with that tight end room, and the guy's a lights out recruiter. I know that, and then bringing him over to the offensive line, which was his position, and then getting support. It just let's wait for Friday. Let's not count our chickens. But I mean, I think that this offensive line class is going to speak for itself. I think that what they've been doing along the defensive line for the next couple of years is just going to be something really special. And we all knew the issue. USC has done very well throughout, even during the darkest periods. You know, you're still getting NFL wide receivers. You're still getting NFL skill position guys. Where USC struggles when they're struggling is in the trenches. And we saw the collapses in the fourth quarter, not be able to pick up first downs, right? And then when the good defense comes on, the defense not having that depth, especially in the defensive interior, a lot of those fourth quarters kind of melted away. The combination of having these guys on the offensive line getting developed is going to pay off late in fourth quarters. So a lot of the Big Ten, and my God, I tell you guys, can I just get on my soapbox right now? These provincial Big Ten people talk about USC like we're Purdue. They start throwing our name around with Illinois and Indiana, like we're the next tier down. Let them have their fun. I mean, we were there. That was our second season in the Big Ten.
First.
Well, no, I mean this coming up. So this coming in the Big Ten. And they're already writing our obituaries, already putting us, second tier. Talking, there's only three. I thought they were going to say Penn State, but they threw some other team in there. I can't remember. And saying these are the best three teams in the Big Ten. It's almost like they're wishing it into existence. It's almost like those little kids that close their eyes and pretend like no one can see them. They know what's coming. And if you're in that chat, there's the phone number right here. If you're from the Big Ten and you're telling me that USC is a second tier team, love to hear from you. Those are my favorite phone calls.
Yeah, we've had a few.
We have.
Had a few. Real quick, I wanted to say I don't know where it went, but real talk with Brian. I saw a minute ago you're saying like you don't see any of the chat because I think you're watching on Twitter. Twitter doesn't show any of the chat. Jump over to USC LAFB on YouTube and then you can engage.
Yeah, I was saying,
want to.
Thank you to 334 people that are on my Twitter right now. But we'd love to see you over here in the YouTube chat. If you guys follow that link that I put out there, you guys could join us here in the YouTube chat. Love to hear from all of you guys. Oh, we got another celebrity in here. Let's say hello to Rusty. Rusty, how you doing? I'm not sure exactly. I'm missing the Bork. Not sure exactly where that's from, but thanks for Rusty being here as well. Always
Rusty
supports and
probably,
retweeting.
I'm sure he's enjoying a nice red wine and a nice steak that he smoked or something out by the winery.
Out in Temecula somewhere.
Yeah. Living the dream. Where are you at, Roy, if you don't mind me asking? Are you up in the Pacific Northwest still?
Yeah, he's up north.
Yeah, I'm in near Seattle, Washington.
I love that. It's so beautiful up there. Love it up there.
Yeah.
Anything else for us, Roy?
No, that's it. Let's give some other people a chance to speak their mind. But man, I'm excited, man. You don't even know. I'm excited. I'm excited for my son for sure. But I'm excited that I have some traveling to do, man. It was kind of boring the last 3 or 4 months. So let's go fight on. Fight on,
Roy. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. I just
for sure.
I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna get too excited and someone's gonna clip this and then I'm gonna regret it sometime in November like I always do. But I'm okay with that because this roster, and I don't mean just the player roster. I mean the coaching staff. If anybody at USC is not getting excited by looking at just staff from top to bottom, the front office, the support staff as well that's going on into this, USC is now finally, after like languishing for the better part of 15 years, being behind really in a lot of ways, almost like a self-imposed sanctions or almost a self-imposed penalty that they've been doing. Finally, USC is how do I say this politely? A lot of programs were on the edge of what was NIL, what wasn't, and USC was missing out on a lot of linemen during that time. But now that one's playing by the same rules, and there's a few programs that come at the last minute and let's say drop a check. Well, that doesn't happen anymore, and I think it's going to level out. And as USC starts to see their lines not just catch up, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think USC's defensive line is going to turn some heads this year and dominate the Big Ten.
100%. Yeah. No, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
like we said, the depth. Go ahead, Roy.
Yeah, I'll end with this, Tim. Don't wake the sleeping dragon, right? And that's exactly what's happening. So, again, good night. Fight on, and we'll talk soon.
Fight on.
Hey, thanks, Roy. So great to hear from you. Awesome. Appreciate the support.
I mean, I have too much respect. I have too much respect for like Ferentz, but if you remember the Iowa coach, what he said, I mean, he took those shots, after USC struggled against Tulane, and he made comments about the defense and have to learn how to play defense before USC came in. I'm so glad that those teams, like Roy just said, poke the tiger and piss Lincoln off. Because if you remember after that season, Lincoln had that big comment he made about the fact that everything we do here forward is going to be defensive centered. Our mind's on defense. Guys, think back about a year and a half and look at what we've done on defense, whether it be the staff building from within, starting with Danton Lynn, bringing Danton Lynn on, and then just loading up the positions and bringing in Doug Belk and latest like Rob Ryan coming in, Trevon Reed. I mean, the staff they have over there, and then now look at the defensive line, something that last year was a weak spot for us, is now most likely a strength. And I do mean it. I really cannot wait to see the faces of a lot of these Big Ten pundits, especially the national ones, when USC just starts manhandling and mauling these, because there aren't, Ryan, a lot of, I would call, elite quarterbacks in this conference.
No.
Being from the Pac-12, we're used to seeing 3-4 guys they're going to the NFL. They're probably going to be a high draft pick. In this league,
Lincoln's first year, 3 went in the first 10 picks.
Right? But I mean, going back since I've been following football in the Pac-12, it is a quarterback conference, and going down, if you're gonna be hard pressed to pick, when you start ranking the top 5 quarterbacks, I mean, I sit back and I have a chuckle because they start putting guys in the top 5 that haven't even had a college snap yet, or someone that's came in and played as a freshman and then struggled and then rode the pine, and then they're putting them as these top 5 guys that are already established as great quarterbacks. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, because one thing that was a problem, I think our secondary, we had a fine secondary last year, but the problem is you can't give a quarterback or any offense and receivers that much time to get open, and that struggle. The pass, I don't know what it was, because we were right there. It just seemed like as soon as Eric Gentry went down, that pass rush just kind of went away. He was kind of that catalyst that kind of made things kind of go. And they made it really tough on that secondary last year. And I'll tell you, we needed some guys in the defensive interior, and we ended up losing guys. We lost 2 guys in the spring, and then we lost another guy halfway through the season. And so it was people say, well, why do we keep losing these games in the fourth quarter? Because you have no defensive interior depth. And these teams just ran the ball down their throats. But sorry to the 4 people I missed calls from. We'll get calls. Again, number 888-997-4539.
4 people, Tim. 4.
Yeah, my bad. Well, I mean, I was talking too long. It's what I do. But we got 518 people. I got to figure at least somebody out there wants to tell me the error of my ways. We're still looking to see what you guys.
Is anyone waiting right now on the line?
No, we're good right now.
Okay, can I share a quick story from Media Day real quick?
Absolutely.
I don't know why. I thought maybe no one will think this is cool, but I thought this was cool because I didn't know at all. But so I was talking to Walker Lyons. Who's the big Walker Lyons guy? You just did Gabe's Joey Olsen. Who's the big? Is there someone that's a big Walker Lyons?
Everyone should be. It's great. I mean,
everyone should be.
I can't wait. Guy's an amazing pass catcher.
Yeah, everyone should
bigger every time I see him.
He's going to break out for sure. So he was one of the tight ends featured at USC Media Day. So I was talking to him, and I asked him just like, hey, what was that transition like when, you lose essentially your coach, Zach Hansen? He didn't leave. He went to the offensive line, but you lose your position coach. And so he was like, yeah, it happened. Remember after the last game of the season when Josh Henson ends up getting the job over at Purdue, and then they move Zach Hansen over. So there was that period where there was no tight end coach till the bowl game, right? You played Texas A&M, and you still got someone to coach. So Walker Lyons is saying like it was kind of cool because during that period, Lincoln Riley became the tight ends coach. So Lincoln Riley was solely focused. I mean, not solely focused. He still was the head coach, but he was more involved with the tight ends. And Walker was saying, hey, it opened us so much more of knowing the nuances of the entire offense. And I've talked on probably this show, but also others, how tight end is one of like the hardest positions in football. You have to know blocking assignments, route running. You have to know, different checks and calls and all these different things aside from other positions. So I just thought that was so cool that now they got this insight from the head coach. The head coach also kind of got to know the tight ends a lot better, which I think everyone wants to see the tight ends more involved in this offense. And oh, guess what? You have the best tight end in the country come into the program here in 2026 and Mark Bowman. So I don't know. I just thought that was a fun tidbit. I was like, oh, cool. Lincoln Riley became the tight end coach for 3 weeks leading up to Texas A&M.
Yeah. And when I was talking to Chad Savage, interior receivers coach, tight end coach, I made the mistake, Ryan. I reminded him that I opened my big mouth again. and I said, tight ends didn't have a touchdown last year. And now, I mean, we could look at that with so many, large, Jacoby going crazy. I mean, Jacoby had like 105 touchdowns in the last 3 games. I can't remember. He just started being the touchdown machine at the goal line. But I mean, usually you're looking at those guys, they could just get to the line, just kind of and box out and just and make that play. But I just thought it was really odd. I mean, I can't remember last time I saw where USC went 0 for the season as far as receiving touchdowns for the tight ends. Again, the chat, you love to point out when I'm wrong. Feel free to throw it in there. But with guys like you just brought up, with Lake and I would just say, obviously he got hurt, but Joey Olsen, hashtag Joey Olsen All-American for you, Gabe. We have some guys with bona fide receiving skills coming out of high school. And you brought up Walker Lyons as well. I mean, these guys have the ability. And a man like Walter Matthews is just a massive human being. But if you watch him on 7-on-7, the guy moved he's like one of those guys that can carry that weight and really almost, I dare say, get in and out of his breaks and can make things happen. So I think for the reason why you just named, we do want to make our offense look really good for tight ends out there for obvious reasons. But it's just such a big part of the offense. I can't wait to see how they're going to get them involved. And I'm pretty sure they're going to.
Yeah, no, they will. I mean, Chad Savage, I think, was such a phenomenal hire, and just to put a bow on that story, Walker Lyons ended it with, like, as soon as Savage was hired, which wasn't until the new year. I can't remember if it was February or late January, but then, he said within 5 minutes of talking to him, he was like, yeah, this guy's the perfect fit. So I think he's a great coach, great motivator. Just seeing him out there today, Tim, I don't know if you noticed. I mean, again, we're watching individual drills, but he's standing at the turn where they're running routes and with the the different dummy bag they're hitting, and just seeing the coaching that he was giving, how vocal. I mean, he seems kind of like he's shorter. He's like my height, our height. Like, seems maybe a little quieter. No, not on the football field. Dude's vocal on the football field. So
yeah, no,
love seeing that.
Yeah, you hear him before you see him. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's a great hire.
For some reason, again, I'm getting feedback. You guys let me know. So those of you who don't know, I've moved. I'm now here in Long Beach, so I moved my whole studio over to here, rewired everything. I think everything's good. Not sure if my audio is coming out clear yet, but we will get that fixed. We're good.
To me,
so we'll have that ready for sure for next week. Though I'll make sure that I have it time. I had a hardwired. I hate doing that, but it should be fixed. We're on for a little bit longer, you guys. I got 560 people now on the line. Number 888-997-4539, 888-99-RILEY. Give us a call. Let us know. What are your thoughts? Again, we've talked about a bunch of things. We talked about the nickel position. What do you guys think of the hottest competition is going to be this fall? Sorry, this fall for the position groups. We talked about corners. Talked about nickel position. We talked about the guard. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Go ahead and drop us a comment or give us a call. Did we get the other super chat? I'm sorry, I was kind of spaced out. I was talking.
We didn't. I don't think we shouted out. I put it in there.
But Gixer, long time USC on all the different channels. Gixer, thank you for the $5. USC is easiest like historical powerhouse on the verge of Big Ten excellence. I'm with you there. Just so you know out there, there is not a single, not Ohio State, not Michigan, not Penn State. There is not a single program in the Big Ten that has a winning record against USC. That building over that large structure over in Pasadena, that's USC's house. And time again, they've shown the Big Ten that who's daddy. And it's usually happening in the Rose Bowl against their
in the granddaddy.
best, in the granddaddy of them all, that USC is the daddy. So I just see it as whistling past the graveyard. I've had arguments on other channels with other hosts trying to belittle USC. I try to remind them, you guys have short memories. I agree. USC isn't always on their game. USC as a university sometimes get distracted. And in some parts of the country, it just means more and they just pay more sometimes. But when USC has their stuff together, when USC is not shooting itself in the foot, which we have done for quite some time on quite a few occasions, but this was not going to be a quick turnaround. Anybody that thought that Lincoln Riley was coming here and the aberration. See, here's the thing. What drives me crazy every time is people get all over Lincoln Riley for the 2 mediocre seasons he has had, right? But he gets no credit for that first year he got here when he had no business being, a lower leg injury away from going to the playoffs. No one talks about that season, how he cobbled that team together, how he utilized that offensive line that Clay McGuire left for him, which was a great offensive line. But bringing in a guy like Jordan Addison to complement, a generational player like Caleb Williams, and then obviously Tuli Tuipulotu wasn't too bad as well, and Dye pitched in as well. That team though was cobbled together by him and made a hell of a run. And yeah, the last 2 years have kind of sucked, but we kind of saw it happening. I mean, anyone was really paying attention to that defensive line in offseason, and you got to blame. I mean, the coaches have to take some blame for it, not having, not getting those pieces together. But it was kind of obvious you're going to the Big Ten, a run-heavy conference with some insanely gifted running backs, with gigantic offensive linemen, and to think that we were to go there with great Trojans, but very undersized defensive linemen, very thin on that defensive line, and somehow come out of the season with a chance to go to the playoffs or to win the Big Ten. I think that the writing was on the wall. The season was almost over before it began. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, Ryan, but it does look like those pieces are together right now. And it's a lot of talk, a lot of young guys on this team, very unproven guys on this team. Mm-hmm. But it does look like all indications showing that the pieces that USC was missing last year are now here. And there's no denying the talent in this coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Real quick, this was the other super chat. Willie Permont, Fight on Fellows, love the content. We about to shock the world this season. Totally
right
agree. With him. But yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this a ton, but Lincoln Riley obviously made plenty of mistakes, and keeping Alex Grinch was one of those. I think hitting the transfer portal hard in year 2 after the success in year 1. He's even said it himself. That was kind of his big regret of not then refocusing on recruit. Obviously he was focused on recruiting, but not emphasizing the recruiting and kind of hitting the portal again in year 2. Just because, when you emphasize the portal so much, and I'm not saying it's just a USC thing, this is any team, like it's so hard to really create a true culture, especially when you're a brand new coaching staff, when you're continually having that turnstile at door. So I think that was the big mistake. And I won't say too much because I think you said it well, Tim. I think the big thing for me, why I have faith in Lincoln Riley and why I've been one of the more positive people than maybe others, and I know you have too, is that he has done everything to change the perception. Like, it's one thing if you keep doing the same thing and like, no, we're going to get better. Like, this is going to work. Just trust us. Just trust us. I know sometimes he says that in like media availability, but like, look at his actions. Like, it's changed everything. Like, look at the staff he's built. Look at the recruiting style and the shift that he's made. Look at, you got to credit someone when they've actually recognized that they need to change things to do. And he's fully embraced that from year 2 to year 3, and now from year 3 to year 4. So yeah, I'm just excited. Obviously we got to see it play it on the gridiron, but I mean, there's no reason not to be fired up and excited. I mean, all anyone's doing right now, Tim, is talking. So we can sit here and talk and be excited, and everyone can be like, oh, it's just talk. Well, yeah, that's all anyone's doing. That's all Penn State's doing. That's all Ohio State's doing. That's all Oregon's doing. We're all just talking because last year doesn't matter anymore. Oregon can say all they want. Doesn't matter. They made the playoff. They got smoked by Ohio State. Now it's a new year.
Hope springs eternal in the preseason. Everybody's undefeated. Everybody's going for the championship. I think that you brought up a good point, and especially that Lincoln Riley did not mince words. He didn't hide from the scrutiny. And that's one thing I absolutely respect. In 2023, the defense was an absolute mess. Yeah. That and the lack of, obviously people understate losing a Jordan Addison, not replacing. We had some great receivers, but we didn't have that guy, at receiver. We had some amazing, Taj, love the guy, Brendan Rice, awesome. But we didn't have that guy. That was kind of a drop there. So that made him work that much harder. The offensive line took a major step back. We just, poor Caleb was running in circles and running for his life. But the big thing was the defense.
Yep.
And he owned it. And he made that famous statement where he's like, look, everything going forward. Then was like, yeah, sure. All the Oklahoma fans, oh, yeah, I see. You're going to see he's not going to do this. But now look forward a year and a half. Look at this defense, you guys. If you're a Trojan fan out there, you've got to be very happy. If you're a UCLA, Notre Dame, Big Ten, Oklahoma fan, if you're still angry, there's not many of you still angry. Most of you guys got on with life.
They have, right? They have kind of fun.
They have. Well, I say that, and I meet far more. Even back in the day, Ryan, I'd get so I would forget to turn off this phone system, and once in a while, I'd get a phone call from a guy from Oklahoma. It was a really nice guy one time. We sat there and talked for 40 minutes about Lincoln Riley and stuff, and he was critical, but he was complimentary. And so, most of the, just like in life everywhere, most of the loudest guys on social media, most of the loudest guys around, they're every village, right?
Mm-hmm.
The majority of Oklahoma fans, I'm not gonna say they love Lincoln for what happened, but not all the ones we hear from usually are not representative of that fan base. They were hurt, they were upset, rightfully so, I guess. For missing out, because let's face it, at the end of the day, they know what they were losing. It was a bit of sour grapes to me, just the way some of them would go about it. Again, you guys, Oklahoma, 888-997-4539.
You at Norman? It's a little late, Norman. But the short story is he got together. He said what it was going to be, and he did change it and proved all those people wrong. Anybody here at USC, are you happy? I'd love to hear you guys in the chat. I'd love to you guys give me a call. What do you guys see of this defense? I am absolutely blown away. It's no surprise to people that yes, I cover the team, but I'm also a 2-time alum. My dad's 3 degrees. I grew up on the campus. I've bled Cardinal Gold my whole life, but I'm also very critical. Well, I can't be critical of this defense. Literally, this program has done everything they can in such a short period of time to turn this defense around. And again, we get to see them shine this year. Yeah, what's not to be fired up about? So let's before you kind of wrap up to me, obviously if anyone calls about the defense, we'll keep talking about it, keep raving about it. But let's talk a little quarterback, shall we? Before we end this, I think that's the other hot button thing is, what is Jade Maiava really going to be and look like? Because that we've seen the good Jade Maiava, where it's like, oh, look at the arm talent, look at the size, look at the athleticism, and then we've seen the 3 interceptions in the first half, you're down 20, like this is not good. So what Jade Maiava are we going to get? And I think the coaches have raved about him. He right now is the very clear starter. Obviously, Lincoln Riley came out at media days and said he is the starter going into fall camp. And we were out there today, and as I've said many times, they're thrown against air, it's individuals. There's not much you can take from it. And how they had it paired, because there's 4 quarterbacks and whatever. They had Jade Maiava and then Husan Longstreet throwing together to their rotation of receivers. So you got to see them really back to back, because they were doing this drill quick. So it was Maiava pass, Longstreet pass. And I want to say this right, because I'm not saying anything negative about Longstreet whatsoever. The dude has a phenomenal looking ball, athletic specimen. He is the future. So I don't want anyone to mince words. But right now, just based on that throwing against air, it is very clear that Maiava is QB1, which I think is a good thing. I think if Husan Longstreet as a true freshman was really, really close to taking the job, that would to me be a little bit more concerning. Not saying that that's not good for Longstreet, but anytime a true freshman is beating on an incumbent who has a lot of talent. I know he was just a 3-star recruit, but former Mountain West Freshman of the Year, went 3-1 last year. That to me would be a little bit more concerning. So I think it's a really good thing that, to me, based on just a couple throws, we got to see it in actual team and see it when reading defenses, because that changes certainly a lot. But just on kind of here's an example, Tim. So they're throwing these kind of fade routes, and Husan has a great looking ball, but it's a real kind of not a high lofted ball. I don't know if you noticed that when we went to the Centennial game against Mater Dame. Kind of throws more of like a bullet, and obviously he'll progress through that as he continues his maturation and continues his development. But Maava was throwing this just kind of beautiful high arcing, hitting in the numbers, and so it's just like little nuances like that where you can see, okay, yeah, this is a dude year 2 in the system, knowing exactly the style of throw to make to get over the corner. You're not going to short arm it. You're not going to throw it where the corner can get it. Only the receiver can get it. So I'm probably word vomiting, but I'm just trying to say, like, I'm not saying anything. Hussam Longstreet is going to be fantastic. He's the future. But I think what Maava is showing through these spring and fall camps has me very excited, and it's where he should be and should have fans excited. So your thoughts? I mean, what's your thoughts on Maava? I know we haven't talked a ton about him, actually, you and I.
Yeah. Oh, we got a VIP call coming in, but I'll hit this caller, very special caller. Hang on one second. Wait, hold on. Okay, I thought now. Oh, Maava. So I talked to Luke Heward when he was up there, and like I said to him, we all know that Jaden has just this incredible arm talent. There's no denying it. I mean, you watch that guy throw the ball, it just pops right out. I mean, the guy can rip it. But I asked him, what else about him makes him, suits him in this offense. And he didn't even hesitate. He's just his toughness. Do you know what I mean? His just toughness. And he's earned the respect. He said the earned respect of his teammates. He's there. He's putting in the work. The one criticism I had of him last year, the one thing I wanted him to show me he's improved on this year, is being able to read the defense, to know. It just seemed a lot last year. Now, I mean, obviously his center, hopefully, Reed's gonna be able to help him out. I just really want to see him know what guys are coming, where his balls will go before this, the pre-snap reads, not just his progressions, but really getting a handle on this offense and being able to command it. Because if he's improved there, then I know exactly why Lincoln Riley didn't even blink and say, yeah, this is my guy, because he has the tools. He has the toughness. I tried to ask him when we had the little sit down session. I asked him, is there a play last year that really stuck out to you? Is there something you feel typifies your play? And he's so damn humble. He's like, he's just, no, not really. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Just, going out there and playing for my teammates, getting the USC answer. But it was authentic. Do you know what I mean? And I can see that he's thinking about the plays. But if you talk about a guy that can stretch the field, that he can make those throws that a lot of guys can't. He could fit in the small windows that a lot of quarterbacks can't.
Yep.
He has athleticism. I mean, he's not a running quarterback, but he has athletic ability. He'll be able to escape and extend plays and pick up what they give him. I think if he learns to do that, I think he learns to, what we're talking about, cutting down. I don't know if it was one of the beat writers or if it was one of the coaches. Sorry, I got it confused. But someone said, the thing is what he's working on is, instead of going for the home run, he's looking for singles.
Yep.
And so if he could do all those things, which was not a huge leap, and get on the same page as his receivers, because that's a big part of it as well. There were times in games where, because Miller Moss, started out the season, had the spring, the fall, and into the season and all the first team reps, it seemed like sometimes they weren't on the same page. And that always makes the quarterback look, right? I mean, Ryan, we know this. It makes the quarterback look, that's a terrible throw. But a lot of times it's because it's the receiver has a lot of culpability as well. So I want to see him build that rapport with receivers. I want to see him take that next step, in those pre-snap reads, knowing where he's going to want to go with the ball, if someone's blitzing. If he can make that jump, I think it's going to be a great offense. Enough of me talking. One of my all-time favorite co-hosts and all-time best callers I've ever had, Mr. Paulie Walnuts. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, man. How dare you try to sneak a show with me, bud? Let me tell you, that's how I know we were meant to be friends. Something inside of me told me, you know what? Why don't you just turn the set on for a little bit? And sure enough, your beautiful face just pops up, man. I love it. Ryan, how you doing? Well, I absolutely love you as well, Ryan. I'm a big fan. But let me just get to it, Tim. I know you guys are probably tired. You've been on the show. I always catch you at the end. But one thing I can honestly tell you, when I just listen to you guys talk about Maava, we've talked about this in the past when it comes to Maava. the maturation process of this kid, not just him, but numerous Trojans. We'll get to that. But you look at Jaden, look at how far he's come. I mean, from tossing around, beer cans and footballs on the beach to his uncles, practicing and training that way, not having the Jordan Power, training that a lot of these young kids get when they're coming up through the ranks. But for him to really go get through every single phase, and on top of that, the whole Miller Moss thing, being able to withstand that. There was a lot of that were on Team Miller, and that was a tough thing that he dealt with as well. But now he has had some time to really grow those relationships with the Alpha and the Omega, with Makai and Kobe Lane, and then on all the other receivers that come along with it, and to see how the confidence that he's had. I mean, it just in the interviews, it really made me happy to see that. The one thing with Jaden, he's not afraid to throw that deep ball. The guy's, I think he's at a point now where he's just going to let it fly and not going to worry about the mistake. He believes in what Coach Riley's teaching him, and it really made me happy to see him come along, and I wish him nothing but the best. And on top of that, my secret weapon, one of my favorite players, slowly becoming one of my favorite players is Lions. I really think those guys right there are going to help him out as well. But then you look at, like I said, the maturation process, what I've gotten away from this, seeing the guys like Fountain with the trimmed hair and looking just in shape like a chiseled god, man. And then you look over at my favorite, one of the linebackers out there, number 23, folks. You see him, man. He looks night and day. The guy just looks like he just came out of like the military boot camp or something. He is just ready to go, and you can tell by the way these guys that they mean business. But I think the biggest thing that we're focusing on this year, what I'm focusing on this year, is not just the players and the way they're developed. I want to see what our coaches are going to bring to the table this year. This is make or break for our coaches, for Lincoln, for all of them. I want to see what these guys are made out of and their biggest test, and we're going to find out this year. We're going to find out in those fourth quarter games when times are tough what these new strength coaches and conditioning coaches are going to bring to the table. We're going to find out what different schemes that Rob Ryan is going to bring. I'm really excited about that, and that's the one part of this season that I'm looking forward to, guys. Listen, I just got home. I love you, Tim. I just wanted to come and chime in, but I wish you nothing but the best, and you guys have a good night.
I think we just won a national championship.
What a call. What a call.
I told you he's one of my favorite calls. And
guy.
by the way, Paulie, if I'm going to try to sneak a show by you, I'm not going to mention you in the link for the show on Twitter that I just did. So go check your Twitter mentions, because I had you in there. Yeah, man, Paulie Walnuts just was always my favorite caller. Then he became my co-host extraordinaire for a while, and now you guys, he's going to be doing a pregame show with Preston over at Preston's Paradise, another great channel. Make sure you're checking him out.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be doing a pregame show every game, so make that your guys stop before you turn on the game every Saturday morning. It's a hell of a lot better whatever they got going on at ESPN. I promise you that. But thank you, Paulie, for calling in. Great call as always. We always get great calls here. I mean, I love it. We got 376 people. Appreciate everyone coming here on short notice on what is this, Wednesday? God dang, it's been a crazy week.
What number are you looking at? I'm seeing 672. Yeah.
Oh, well, it moves, Ryan.
673. There, it went up one.
Yeah. It's gonna modulate, but I appreciate everyone being here on short notice. Make sure you guys are checking everything we do. Like Ryan is constantly. I'm sure Ryan will have something for you guys very soon. So make sure you're checking out on Friday. I think that Ryan will have another video. Ryan, are you doing an update tomorrow as well?
Oh yeah, I'll have something. I'm trying to do daily. So it's, sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's not. With USC, it's a lot easier than other teams. That's for sure.
There's never a dull moment at USC.
Yeah.
The grind is real.
Never. Right. By the way, I was at Rams camp yesterday, and guess who had a nice touchdown grab during the team drills? Undrafted free agent Mario Williams, making a name to make the team here with the LA Rams. So a little random side note for you.
Good luck to him. Yeah, he had a rough show here. I mean, it kind of ended on a thud, really. You know, his time here at USC with that Tulane game. But good to hear. Good to hear that he rebounded and he's doing well. And wish him all the best of luck at catching on. Because I want all these guys to get millions. They deserve millions. Pay them, please. But we'll be back.
Tim, thank you, everyone. This is great.
Yeah, now we've got those phone calls rolling in. Don't worry, we'll get you guys off the fences. Especially I am with 676 of you now. I'm sure there's a fair share of people that aren't wearing any Cardinal and gold socks. Let's put it that way. So this show is for everybody. Do give us a call. Oh, speak of the devil. Hi callers, we'll take our last call tonight. Hi caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Tim. I'm from Los Alamitos, California.
How weird. I'm Tim and I moved from Los Alamitos, California, now living in Long Beach. How are you doing, Tim?
I'm good. I think we actually have a lot of parallel. I graduated from SC 02. I don't know if you're around that time.
01. So yeah, right there with you. Okay.
But, anyways, just if you guys are still on, so I saw you guys were, so I decided to call in. First time caller. But I just want to share how just this past just what's going on. See, just things. No stone is not being, it's not left unturned right now. They're on their ground right now, and I think hearing Coach Tremaine Carroll today was eye-opening. Like the guy is legit. I don't know, Tim, if you were there during the scrum, but yeah, he was just hearing him talk. There's a lot that to like. I think it's just all down to the details of what the staff is doing. Even hearing Coach Savage, his interview on the Victory podcast, just everything, the detail. It's amazing, and they're taking it day by day. It's just and last year when I went to that LSU game against in Vegas, and I was really nervous about that game, and they came on and won that game. That was so exciting, and I'm hoping that same excitement is going to happen this year, but they're going to follow through and have a really big season. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Tim,
thanks for taking my call.
No, listen, please do become a regular. I mean, I love first time callers. I love long time callers. I love guys that call in all the time. And that LSU game, which a lot of people, I guarantee you, most of the people on both sides of the sideline, they weren't feeling what a lot of us over. You go back to 2002. I graduated. See, you guys don't catch that number. I graduated in the spring of 2001. So I had the whole Hackett experience. When I was in school, I didn't get to experience. At least you got Pete Carroll's 2002 season, which was so you got the 2001, but then you got to enjoy the 2002 season, right? Oh no, not really. No, my bad. Yeah. You would have got 2001, so you missed out on the two.
Yeah. 2002 was Pete Carroll's first year.
Yeah.
My
the fall.
Year,
yeah.
And we didn't know what to expect. Yeah. We saw him the basketball game, and my buddy, he was really on top of the program. He's like, "That's supposed to be our new coach," and I'm like, "Oh, the guy I used to coach in the NFL, right?" Didn't know that was the start. And man, what a run! So can't wait. I think the vibes are legit. That's how obviously all the recruiting momentum that's going on right now. It's just you can't ignore that. And so it's just last year, the way the season started, I was so nervous, and then they just exceeded my expectations, and then unfortunately things happened where they did. But I think that the talent is there even this year. So we'll just see if the O-line can really hold up. I think that's the biggest question mark right now.
Yeah, I kind of got scattered off track with the Pete Carroll stuff, but we knew what was on the line, with that LSU game. And there's a lot of people up in the rafters. I could hear them. They were really upset. They wanted a piece of SC. They wanted to claim that the 2003 national championship, right? There was a lot of that going on that night. And to us that remembered that history, it was a little bit sweeter coming away with that win. and the way Miller, I mean, you know, things didn't work out the way Miller wanted to, but man, Woody and Miller put on a show, and to end that game, just outstanding, and really enjoyed that for the fans. Really enjoyed that for me, because again, I don't think I could have stomached that loss. That would have been a really painful loss. You know.
Too. Yeah, and I'm sorry to keep going on with that game, but at the end when we were walking out, I mean, because the LSU fans, they were so like arrogant about it. Like they looked down on us right from the beginning. I was walking around, and they just thought they were gonna just throttle us, right? And I was like, hey guys, better be careful. You know, I think this will be a really good game, right? And sure enough, and we were just chanting, you know, we are SC, right? Walking out, it was the best feeling ever.
I didn't notice them looking down on us because I was looking down on them, Tim. Tim, I didn't notice them looking down on us because I was looking down on them. I'm sorry, I just was. I missed that. But I mean, also Kyron Hudson was a big part of that win. Guys, we're gonna, you know, it's a good thing. We're gonna see them in a Big Ten championship game. We won't see them in the regular season, but we will see Kyron with Penn State in the championship game. Right, Ryan? Are we writing that already now?
Yeah.
Are we booking our tickets for that game?
Absolutely.
I think that's what's going to happen. So, his heroics in that game will never be forgotten by me either. But hey, listen, Tim, great call, man. Great call. I hope you call us again.
Thank you. Thanks for taking my call.
At any time. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right,
bro,
guys.
yeah.
Well,
Tim Langley on the line. Not
that's
Prangley.
crazy.
Tim Langley. I don't know if his last name's Langley, but you know.
Oh damn, dude, that was gonna be another thing.
No, it's not.
You could have been like my doppelganger. We have to meet up, man. I got to see this Tim from Los Alamitos.
Tim Prongley, Tim Langley.
No, and I'm cheering for Mackay from Los Al, right?
Right. We saw those games. We saw Mackay, and Nelson ball out.
I did with Malachi. Yes.
These people didn't believe me, Tim. They didn't believe me when I said last year those four. They're talking about the four receivers. I kept saying Lemon. I said Lemon will have the most catches. Lemon will have the most yards. Yeah. I said Jacoby had the most touchdowns.
Yeah. You know who was big on Mackay was actually Cody Kessler. I don't know if you ever listened to when he was.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah. Your podcast.
Yeah, he's forgotten more football than I know. Yeah.
Scouting him. He's like, yeah. And he was scouting. He's like, oh, Mackay's the real deal, and he was right. I knew it, but it was just hard because we're just watching high school ball, right? And Mackay's not the biggest dude, right? And you're kind of worried about that. But man, his heart and just
he plays
here, and it's been dude. He's getting.
He plays so much bigger than he is. He play and his freak athletic ability. Seeing him play both ways. We've seen him also on kick returns, and I mean, the guy is an amazing athlete, and I think he's going to be USC's next All-American.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah. I think he is Amon Ra. I mean, that's who I feel like. So, anyway, sorry.
That's some big shoes. I'm sure he'll take that. Those are some big shoes to fill.
I know. You're right. Yeah.
All right, Tim. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We'll be here next Wednesday, and I would love to hear from you again. All right.
Sounds good. All right, thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Take care. Well, you guys, we're now it's always like this. There's 723 people at the end of the show. It's usually when it's the most packed. Overwhelmingly great to see the response we got this late pop-up show from all of you guys. Make sure you're checking out all the things we do over here on the LAFB Network. Make sure you're reading our articles, daily videos coming from Ryan and the rest of us. But you will be seeing Ryan and myself doing the call-in show every Wednesday at 7:00. Let's try to get that 7:00 slot filled in for both of us. During the season, it'll be fun. I know that we're obviously gonna have practices after Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Thursday's gonna be the Zoom calls with Lincoln Riley. So it should be a great season, guys. This is it. I've been calling this for over a year. I thought this was going to be the year. I am very bullish. The one question mark we're going to have is the situation at quarterback, guard, and if we can stay healthy at linebacker. Those three things happen, then it's a lot to ask for. And we can get that's a whole nother show we could hit probably next week. Ryan, what do you think? We'll talk about some of the things they can make or break the season. We'll get to that next time. Again, 718 people that didn't call tonight. Hope to hear from you guys next week. Ryan, looks like you got something that someone ready to go to bed, probably.
Yeah.
We got to get you out of here.
The VIP guest over here, not a call-in, but a VIP appearance.
All right. Well, for Ryan, this is Tim. We appreciate you guys all being here. Make sure you check out LAFB. Oh, as you're on your way out, hit that like button and give us a subscribe. If you want more content like this, that's the best way to let us know you guys are enjoying the show. If you're over on Twitter, make sure you're following us on LAFB Network, as well as both of our socials. Appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see everybody next Wednesday.
Thank you all.
Fight on,
Fight
you guys.
on.